how has your week been, Aminder? Have you wanted to murder any of the peoples on the phones?
Well, I mean, I did have a lady yesterday over email tell me have the day that I deserve. So because like I told her I basically she emailed in and she wanted to discuss sensitive information. I told her we can't do that over email because we need to verify people. And she did not take that well. And so she kept arguing me over email, and eventually towards the end I said, once again, you're going to need to call in so we can discuss your account. And she then told me that everyone that I like where I work is rude and like impolite and that I should have the day I deserve. So it's just been a regular week. I feel like everyone yesterday was kind of on something, but I think it's just been just a boring week. It's been a very slow week, I feel. It's taking forever to get to the weekend for sure.
Yeah, so I have
How about
about
you?
all of a half of a fucking brain cell left because we had one of our biggest sales of the year this past weekend. And I can say this because he'll be home by the time this airs, but my husband has been gone out of the country for 3 fucking weeks since Halloween. And of course, this comes at like literally the most inopportune time possible because why would it ever be opportune? And we had one of our biggest sales of the year. And even though I didn't work the normal amount of hours I would had he been here and I had like proper childcare like support during this time, I am still burnt the fuck out because solo parenting is incredibly difficult, period, but it's extra difficult for me. And I feel like every time he leaves, I feel like he takes half of my fucking brain with him because ever since I started working, especially working full time, like he handles so many things. He really does. Like he feeds the kids, he picks them up from school, he takes them to all their fucking doctor's appointments. He handles
Mhm.
like all the things because his schedule is incredibly, simple and it's the same every day, Monday through Friday. And my schedule's all over the place all the time. And so he's the one with the reliable schedule. So he's doing all the kid things. Well, now I have a fucked up schedule, half my brain missing, the busiest time of the fucking year for the store. And I'm like solo parenting. So I have to do all the things. And that doesn't work out for my brain. It doesn't. And maybe you could call me weak if you want to, but I really swear to God, don't know how people do this shit. Like, I don't know how people do this shit with no help. I really don't, because this is insane. Shout out to every single mom on her fucking grind who has next to no help with her children, because I am not good at this. Was not good at being a stay-at-home parent, and I'm definitely not good at being a solo parent. So I don't know anymore. But
I,
that's my life. I have
I
two
think
brains.
everyone's able to deal with everything their own way. It's kind of like I don't think anyone would consider anyone as weak for not being able to handle something that someone else could handle easily, quote unquote easily. It's kind of like the whole, well, how can you be tired? You got 6 hours sleep. I only got three. So how dare you be tired? It's like, well, maybe if I got 6 hours sleep, like maybe I'm just the one that needs 9 hours of sleep. Like that's just. But I don't think however you deal with something does not make you weak or strong, in my opinion. I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
think we could
more
probably
nuanced.
do an entire episode about that, honestly, because I do actually want to do one on spoon theory because I feel
Mhm.
like that would be um a perfect episode for something along that lines. But just to touch on that for a minute, I've really been struggling with that a lot actually, because it's like I know people do this shit all the time, right? And I used to do shit like this where I was the only one. I was working by myself. I was having to figure out who's going to watch Nick when he was a baby, but like I had family support during that time. And like,
Mhm.
because I live near family, I don't live near family now. So I don't have that. And I kind of rely on my husband and like the couple of friends that we made here. And like, thank God my boss is as wonderful as she is. She offered up her daughter to help. But like, I feel like I do not do well under the same pile of stress that other people can do just fine under. I just
Mhm.
don't. Like a situation like this situation I'm currently in right now is like someone else's everyday life, and it just is what it is for them, and it's whatever. But for me, it's pure and total chaos where I'm like in tears melting down because it's too much. So I do think that it's not really fair, even though I do it to myself. It's like it's not really fair to compare your hard with somebody else's hard,
Mhm.
because just because it's hard, it's not hard for you doesn't mean it isn't hard for somebody else,
Right.
or exhausting, or whatever. Like it's your
Like
shit is not the same as somebody else's shit, and that's okay.
think of it this way, like you handle a lot more than someone else would not be able to handle at all.
Right.
So like you could be quote unquote seen as stronger as someone else that's like, I don't know how she does it. Like looking at you, like how does she do it? I can't even like do simple things, and yet here she is, but juggling a family, like a husband that has to be away a lot, like two kids, a full-time job. It's like, how does she do it? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like everyone has their limits, everyone has what
I
they can
don't. I
handle.
don't do it. That's just it. I don't very well. I don't handle it well. Like I honestly I don't know how it gets done most of the time. I really don't. Like
Fly by the seat of your pants.
that's right. Yeah, but it's not like my brain doesn't operate well like that either. So like that's a whole other bag of worms, but okay. So what are we talking about today? We are talking about hobbies and special interests. It's something that I feel like almost every type of neurodivergent person can kind of relate to. Is like we all have these interests that we go a little bit harder in than some other people do, or we have these interests that don't seem to last like very long, but when we're in them,
Hyperfixations or
yes.
hyperfocuses. Yes.
But when we're in them, it's all we want to do, right?
Yeah.
And then you just forget about it one day and just go on to something. It's lost all the dopamine, so now it's on to something else. So you took the time. This was all Amanda, by the way, because again, I said I had two brain cells left, so this is her idea. So do you want to kick it off with our first like little thought about special interests and hobbies?
Sure. Yeah, when it comes to, like you said, how we could get interested in something for a while and then immediately just forget all about it a week later and just never think about it ever again. I even discussed this with a coworker yesterday where she was watching something on her phone and it was Desperate Housewives. She's like, yeah, it was one of those things. I saw a commercial. I was watching Hulu and it was like suggesting this show. And I said, yeah, I remember when it was on Netflix. This was years ago. I just had an urge. I've never seen Desperate Housewives, but I had an urge to watch it. I watched, I think, 2 or 3 seasons, binged it, and then immediately just stopped. I'm like, okay, I'm done. That's enough. I don't need to watch it anymore. So I get into that sort of thing. Like right now, I'm watching Community, but I'm really bad about binging entire shows. Like I watched the first 3 seasons of Community, especially the first seasons 1 and 2, over and over again. And so I started with season 3 just to catch myself up. I binged seasons 3, 4, and 5 relatively quickly, and I'm on season 6, and I'm like, I have to finish it, but I'm just burnt out over it, even though I love the show. I'm burnt out over it. And um so yeah, so let's see. The first thing I put was like just general hobbies and interests. Like I uh like hobbies, I guess, like hiking, which I think is one that I'm not good at. Like anytime I hike with someone, I'm the slow one. I'm the one that I'm over cautious when I hike because I'm worried about falling all the time. I'm not stable at all and
Me
constantly
either.
falling, as anyone will tell you. Yes, like I don't know. I could have like the grippiest shoes, like the shoes with the best tread on them, and I will fall on my ass no matter what. And so, and I have hiked with different people and have fallen on my ass no matter what. And, but I like it. Like I said, I'm slow, I'm out of shape. I tend to hike with people that are way faster and better at than I am, and I feel bad for them. It's like, I'm sorry you have to wait for me. I'm so panting, trying like yawning, trying to hide that I'm out of breath, like going up this like 100-foot hill. Um, so hiking, reading, though reading has been kind of almost like a chore for me lately. I have to get into a mood to read. Um, so like I like mainly uh fantasy, sci-fi, historical fiction. I read more from like the young adult teen section than the adult section because I just find those stories more interesting, and more often than not they're written by women, which doesn't necessarily matter to me, but I like it when like the hero of the story is like a woman. It's just more relatable to me. Um, and then let's see, in other interests, like I like, right now I'm watching Ted Lasso and it's very wholesome. I'm almost done with season two. Um, I like anything with superheroes, like Marvel for sure. Like I think ever like middle middle school, I've liked anything with superheroes to the point where I probably annoy people with how much I like superheroes. So, but I am like a gatekeeper's dream when it comes to it because I don't read comics, so I can't tell you every minute detail about a storyline, but all the Marvel stuff, and I watch every Marvel movie in theaters. Like I just saw the new Black Panther on Tuesday. Um, so yeah, that's like generally what I'm into. What about what about you?
Sorry, I'm slamming a Reese's cup. I need chocolate. I'm probably gonna
We
leave
keep it
this
real
in
over
because
here.
it's funny.
We gotta keep it real.
I'm trying to keep it real. I'm slamming a Reese's cup. Sorry, guys. I wasn't expecting her to be done so fast.
I didn't want to keep rambling. Like, and I also was starting to lose. Like, I was already also starting to lose focus and losing my train of thought. And I need to have like almost like a script in front of me because it's like I need to like, okay, talk about this, talk about this, talk about this.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess everyone kind of knows my biggest one, which is podcasts, right? Like, I'm obviously quite into it. And it started with just like getting into one show. And then once I was into one show, I started like, I binged that whole show and I was like, well, I'm done now. So it's time to move on to something else. And then before you know it, I was listening to 4 or 5 shows at a time because I wanted to have like something new always coming out to listen to. And then it morphed into me having my own show. But apart from that, one of my other like big special interests right now is witchy shit. Like it is. I'm into all of that stuff. Anything and everything to do with like crystals and herbs and all of that shit. I'm into it right now. For the longest time it was hair and makeup. If you remember that, like for years and
Hmm.
years, I was really into it. Not so much anymore just because it's not that I don't like it. Like I love to do my hair, obviously my fun crazy hair, but I just don't have time for like all of the trends in makeup. Like there are so many trends that I fucking missed the boat on that it's like I don't think I could possibly ever recover all of the fucking trends. I have my one little way that I do my own face, and then that's it. Like I just
Yeah,
don't.
I'm like stuck in 2010 when it comes to
Same. Like I don't
and
even
everything.
really
Like,
love to contour or highlight or any of that shit. Like I do a little tiny bit, but nowhere near like these girls changing their whole ass face shape with some of this shit with some makeup. They don't even look like the same human.
they're shapeshifters.
They're shapeshifters, shifty little bitches. But anyway, so so yeah, that's pretty much. I'm real boring. I'm a real boring human. Like I have kind of the same shit I do all the time over and over again as I get this piece of chocolate off my shirt. Sorry, hold on. I don't venture out much. Music. Okay, music. I'll do that. I love me some music, and that is probably one of my biggest things that I get into besides podcasts is my music. I have a list of all my liked songs, and it is probably it spans every genre you can possibly think of. I have everything from like 90s country to like disturbed on there. Okay, we are all over the spectrum of music. Other than that, I'm really bored. Boring. I'm really bored. Yeah, I am really bored. I'm really boring.
You just like having a routine. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm,
we you joke about how like my house hasn't changed in 12 years,
yeah.
which fair, but it's like I like the stuff I have. I don't know what to tell you. I don't like change that
It's like
much.
walking into a goddamn time capsule. It really is. Like, every time that, listen, I think that's one of the reasons why I love your house, though, because I love, same like you, like I love the predictability of things. Like I know that when I go to Amanda's house, I'm gonna walk in. I still know where everything in her refrigerator is gonna be, everything in her pantry. I know like the same couch pillows are gonna be there, the same blankets are gonna be there, like everything is just the same. It's like walking in and it's exactly how you left it, down to you having your Christmas tree up for I don't know how many years in a row. Just up all year long, all year long Christmas
Takes a
tree.
lot of effort. Takes a lot of effort to put that away. Okay, and plus I like it.
Yeah,
I
it's
can see
cute.
it and I enjoy it.
It's cute. So I don't know, it's just it's great.
And see,
Oh
when it comes to music for me, like I like music, but it's like people will have bands that they like and they'll listen to like every single song. It's like, well, I just have songs from bands that I like. I won't necessarily. There's very few bands that I'll like pretty much every song. Like I really like Linkin Park. For some reason lately I've noticed they got a lot of hate, but like Imagine Dragons, like I remember when they were
yeah.
popular, but I've noticed like lately I'll see memes of like how terrible their music is. I'm like, okay. I mean, I've seen them in concert and I love them, but I haven't really. My problem is that my drive to work is like 5 to 7 minutes, so I don't have a lot of time to
Yeah.
listen to music. So I kind of just drive in silence. I more listen to music like while I'm, working or while I'm walking or like road trips. Like I'll create like a road trip playlist based on who I'm road tripping with. Like, if I'm road tripping with my mom or any family, it's like, well, let me take away the curse word filled songs out of here and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
Curlin is not a fan of the curse words.
no, no, curling is not. Um, so I got to keep it sanitized for my mama dear. Um, but yeah, I also forgot that, into video games, but
Yes.
Nikki mentioned last time that I am really good at video games. I would say like so Mark, my cousin, is like an A like level A like player of video games. I'm like C, maybe B minus depending on the game, but I like to play games on easy mode because I like more of the story of the game. I don't like to be frustrated when I play video games. Like people like to play video games on like nightmare mode. It's like, why do you want to be angry? Why do you want to be mad that you're dying all the time? I don't want to be mad. I'm doing it to relax.
Right. Like
But
what is the problem? I now that I do not understand. I do not understand people getting so pissed off at a game that it like ruins their day. Like I can understand being frustrated at a game because I when I tried to play that game you gave me for the PS, what is it? Elder Scrolls?
Skyrim,
It's called
Skyrim.
Skyrim. Yes. I girl, girl. I cannot. I
Didn't you
cannot
make Jordan mad?
oh God, it made Jordan mad. He's like, water. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't walk and look at the same time. Like, I can't use both joysticks and make the character go straight and also look straight at the same time. So I just
And then
stand and spin
forget
in
trying to
circles.
attack at the same time.
Yeah, that
Forget trying
too.
to attack.
Like, if I can't even walk and look in the same direction at the same time, how the hell am I supposed to attack something and be effective at killing it? I'm not. It's not going to happen. I played that game for 30 minutes trying to figure out how to make this even just function in the very least, and then died terribly because I was murdered by something and couldn't see it, didn't know where it was, could
Hmm.
not attack it back. So I was like, I quit. I just threw the controller and I was done. Like, I'm not
Hmm.
interested in that. Like, I do like playing video games though. I like my Nintendo Switch. We have one. And I love to play Pokemon games. It's probably one of my favorite things to play. I love Pokemon. Ooh, I just had a thought for this other one that's down here. It's on video games, but okay, we're train of thought. We're getting off topic now because I'm taking us off topic. Guilty pleasures in terms of entertainment, right? So like we these are things we're into. We very much love our entertainment, you and I. Like we've established that, right? Like
Hmm.
my guilty pleasure in terms of like TV shows has to be Real Housewives. Like
Hmm.
all the franchises, okay? So how this got started, there is a YouTuber by the name of Emily D. Baker, and she's a lawyer. She was I think, an assistant district attorney or the district attorney for LA County at one time. And so she like started this YouTube channel where she goes through all of the Bravo celebrity dramas, like Jen Shaw and Erica Girardi and like all of that stuff, right? And I'm like, I don't know who these people are, but like Emily D. Baker is very interesting to listen to. She's so funny, and she sounds off on all these stupid lawsuits that these celebrities do against each other, right? And so I wanted to know who these people were. And so I started watching Beverly Hills first. And I got so sucked into that shit. I did not know that there was like 12 seasons. Like you normally would be like, "Oh, this show." Scroll through all the seasons and go, "Holy shit, that's a lot of fucking seasons. I really
Mhm.
only want to know about one person. Let's just start where that person shows up on the show." But I can't do that. Like I can't do that. If I'm going to watch something, I have to watch it from episode 1 to the fucking end. And I did that. And it was bad. I binged the shit out of that show. And then when I was caught up, I was like, what what happened here? Like, how did I get so stuck in this goddamn show? Well, then I moved on to Atlanta and binged all of that. And then I moved on to the next one and the next one. Salt Lake City was my next one. And I fucking love that one. But now I'm hooked in and I have to watch them fucking all. Like, now I have to watch them all. I'm
Mhm.
almost all the way caught up on New York now. Or no, New Jersey, not New York, New Jersey. I am in the final season that is out right now. I'm watching through it up until the reunion. And so that is a hella guilty pleasure. Jordan hates it. He hates every fucking bit of it. He's like, you keep watching these people with the most antisocial fucking personalities I've ever seen in my life. And they're just making drama to make fucking drama. He's like, you are such a non-drama human. I don't understand why you like this. Like, you're just not drama, that not that kind of drama. You know, like
Because
I'm
I like,
dramatic, but I'm
yeah.
not that kind of drama, but I fucking love it. Like I can't get enough of it.
Well, it's kind of like I liked watching other people's drama and hearing other people's drama. I don't want drama in my own life.
Right.
Like, I want to hear also, I want to hear the big drama. I want to hear the little drama. Like, I want to hear why Clara and Brittany are fighting
Yeah.
at Macy's. Like the coworkers at Macy's, I want to hear why they're fighting,
Yeah.
what drama. It's like I haven't watched all the Desperate or not Desperate Housewives, we were talking about earlier, the Real Housewives. I watched like 2 seasons because I just happened of the New York show. Because it just happened to be on. This was after I had like a major surgery like a decade ago. And it just happened to be on. I did not have the energy to change the channel. And they just had like a marathon of like 1 or 2 seasons of Real Housewives of New York. And so I was into it.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get it.
It hooks you. And then you're like,
Mhm.
but I have to know, did she really send that tweet? Did she say that about her? Did that bitch go to her house and do that? Like, you have to know these things. Like, once you're in, you can't stop. They have gold on their hands, man. Like, it's just like they are just allowing cameras to come along on their ridiculous lives and getting into their ridiculous drama and the stupid ass fights, and you have to watch. Like
Same
it's
with like
like a
the
fucking bad train
Kardashians.
wreck. You can't look away. Like you just
Hmm.
cannot look away. And then you continue to come back every fucking day sometimes to continue to watch this train wreck. You just can't stop. And so that is an incredible guilty pleasure to the point to where it's really all I have watched since he's been gone. Like
Hmm.
I don't think I've watched anything else since he's left. It's a goddamn problem. Like
You are
it's probably a
entrenched.
12. Yeah, I probably need a 12-step program at this point. Like I really might. I really might. What about you? What's yours?
I don't know if I have any current ones. I remember there's this one show that I watched when I like 2008, 2009. It was this Japanese show. I don't even remember how I got into it. It was like a Japanese drama show and like called Hana Yori Dango, which I don't know if it direct translates, but at least in like English version, it's like boys over flowers, something like that. And very dramatic, very
Boys over
cheesy.
flowers.
Yeah, it's very. I know Hana means flower, I think, but I don't know. I feel like dango means dumpling. Sorry, Japanese people, but I don't know. So it's almost like flowers over dumplings, but the English version is like boys over flowers. I don't know. Anyway,
Which is hard.
I I, I have I can't remember if it's 2 or 3 seasons, but I have all the seasons on DVD. And I remember watching it. I didn't tell like anyone else that I watch it. I think I showed like one person this show. And because I'm like, this is absolute cheesy, like high school bullshit in a language I don't speak, in a society I don't know anything about. But I love it. And then like you, Real Housewives, the same time I watched those 2 seasons of New York, I watched like a season or two of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh
But
God.
this was like 10 years ago, so before all the shit now. So what they're getting up to now, whatever. I'm never going to begrudge someone for liking the show. Like I do not care if you care about the Kardashian family. Literally does not affect my life. Like they do not affect my life one way or the other. So it's whatever. But I remember it was when like Kendall and Kylie were like children still is when
Oh.
I watched it. So it's been a long time, but it was one of those where it's like I'm gonna watch it because I don't have the energy to change the channel, and let's watch these rich people have this made up drama for the camera, and I'll enjoy it as if I completely understand what they're going through. Like, yeah, you tell him, Courtney. Yeah, good job, Chloe. You make fun of her for how that she lost her diamond earrings, but like right now, current guilty pleasures, like I guess like some what you could call like children's show, like cartoons, but I don't get into like a bunch of cartoons, but like right now I'm watching a show called Young Justice, like more superhero shit.
Okay.
And so it's but I love it. I think it's a really good story, but it's like trying to convince everyone else to watch it with me. Like I don't really have because you're not here like, with me, and it's like trying to convince anyone out. Like I'm one of those people, it's like if I enjoy something, I want other people to enjoy it. Like
Yes.
and I love watching people's reactions to things. Like I said, we watched all of the Marvel movies with our friend, like with like Zach, Scott, and Granger, because Granger hadn't seen really any of them. And so I love people's like reaction to things that I enjoy. So that's like a thing I watch on YouTube is like reaction videos to like
Yeah.
movies and TV shows. So it's like I have like these shows. It's like I want people to watch, but like I don't have anyone to watch with. And so like yeah, but that's like one guilty pleasure is like just what we would consider like children's shows.
Yeah.
Um,
What's your favorite 90s cartoon from when we were kids? If you felt like you had a reason like to share to the world that you still watch that or like you would actually turn it on and watch it all the way through, what is
mhm.
one that you would watch?
Probably like Wild Thornberries. Hey Arnold.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, probably those two. I'd have to see a list of them. It's like my mind is blanking. It's like, did I watch
Mine
TV as a
is
child?
Dexter's Laboratory and Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, yes, those two. But yeah, I think I remember even my mom watched Wild Thornberries with me because she liked it too.
Yes.
It's like I want to talk to animals. I want to be
Another
Eliza
one that I actually
Thornberry.
was really happy that Noah got into was SpongeBob because I actually like SpongeBob. Like,
Hmm.
not every episode, because some of them are like, dear God, that's annoying. But like, some of them are really fucking funny. They're not children's humor. Do you know what I mean? Like they're missing it. It's
Hmm.
going over their head, but we're getting it. And so it's really cool going back and watching some of that shit as an adult where it's like you're catching references you didn't catch when you were a kid.
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah, I think I started watching I don't know if it started in the 90s or just early 2000s, but the Justice League show, the
Yeah.
cartoon, I started rewatching that because now that like DC has become a lot more popular lately. So I started watching that because it's like, back then that was just entertainment, but now it's like, oh, I understood that reference.
Okay, what about okay, so we're kind of working into this one. How do you feel like your hobbies have evolved over time? Like what were things that you were into as a kid that either like you're still into now or that have kind of changed since when you were a kid?
Well, when I was a kid, I'm not sure if you can consider this a hobby, but I played clarinet as a kid. Like I want to go back to playing it. Like I still own my clarinet. I want to go back to playing it, but I did play clarinet from like uh fifth grade all the way through high school. So and I did enjoy it. Um, I'm not sure. I feel like I was more artistic as a kid. Like I wasn't like great at art, but I feel like I did more crafts as a kid. Like I always did if like a project at school needed craft project or something like that, needed something artsy, I did really well on it. But now it's like, I couldn't be bothered. I don't know. Like I'm not crafty at all. I wish I was more crafty, but I feel like I have ideas, but I don't have like the skills to put them to use for anything. It's like let me just describe it to you and you make it. That
I
sort
feel
of
like your
thing.
gaming has kind of like always been a theme though. Like you've always
Mhm.
liked like video games.
Yeah, I mean, like my cousin was the one with the video games. Like my parents let me play video games, but it was more like we'll buy you a video game, but it's going to be educational. Like I played Carmen San
Carmen San
Diego on,
Diego,
yeah,
yes.
Windows 95, Windows 98, that sort of stuff. Like I did MS Paint. And
Yes.
so the
Did
little
you do
arcade
Sims?
game
You did
when you had
Sims,
no
right?
internet. Huh?
Sims? Did you do Sims?
Yeah, I wasn't like too my thing was this is terrible. My thing with Sims is that I liked creating the house and then I would let the family die because it's my house, not yours. It's my house. I created it. So I'd be the person that's like, oh, you want to go swimming? Okay, go swimming. Delete ladder. It's my house now, bitch.
See,
Mhm.
I don't understand so many references from Sims because I never played that game. Never once.
Mhm.
I have never played a Sims game. I don't even think I've
Mhm.
watched anybody play a Sims game. Like
I
ever.
mean, there's a couple of YouTubers that I'd suggest if you want to watch any of them. But yeah, Mark when he would play Sims, he did this thing where he would put them in a room filled with refrigerators, but turned around so they couldn't open their refrigerators and then delete the door. And so you can get pretty psychopathic
It's
when you
terrible.
play Sims. It is very awful, but they're not real. It's fine. It's
It's like
fine.
you can
But yeah,
play out every dark thing you've ever wanted to do to a human in real life, but you just do it in the game.
well, the thing is with Sims, it's like they take like 6 hours to do anything. It's like, oh, you want to go to work and do your job. Well, you better wake up at 3 a.m. to start your morning routine. And you might be late for work but in like the 5 hours it takes you to get ready because they take so long. So it's like I don't really like playing with the characters in The
Gotcha.
Sims. So I just like designing the house and using the money cheat to make all these mansions that it's like I'll make my dream house. And that's why I don't like I'll create characters that I like character creation games a lot, but it's like this is my house and you may be allowed to live with it. I am God here, so I may allow you to have nice things,
Or
but
I
you better
may
not take
drown you in the pool.
yeah, it's like you better not take 5 hours to take a shower and eat breakfast, okay? Like you better know. It's so
Like
it's
five
not a
real life hours. So like your character
no.
would take like all this time to like do things.
Well, it's like time you can speed up the time in there. Like the time doesn't go like say it's 8 a.m. in your time and 8 a.m.
Mhm.
their time. It's not running the same speed. Like
Gotcha.
it's like 1 minute is a second or something like I don't know how
Gotcha.
what the yeah, what the ratio is, but it's like going you can make them you can speed up time, but it's like it takes them so long to do anything. That's why I don't bother playing with them. So I wish there was like some way to make them like take the actual amount of time. Like it should take you 20 minutes to take a shower, not 3 hours. Okay.
Right.
Like now you're late for work and now we're behind on the bills and now the kids are going to be taken away by CPS and it's just a shit show. So,
It's like that
but
Dumb and Dumber
yeah.
thing. We have no jobs. We have no clothes. Our pets' heads are falling off. I probably didn't say it right, but it was very funny. I think I've kind of let the artsy thing drop off a little bit too. Like I feel like I was really artsy as a kid. Like not again, not like some great artist or anything, but I was more into it as a kid. Like I like to draw like dresses and stuff. You know how like did you ever have this thing where it was like a Barbie thing and it had like these plates and you'd put a piece of paper over the plate and then you'd use a crayon and color over it. It would like
Yeah.
transfer the embossed thing onto it. Like I
Mhm.
got really into like drawing dresses on like a dress form, you know, and like playing with it. And I have all these drawings that I found from when I was a kid. Not anymore, obviously, but I had a huge folder full of all of them. And then I remember over 2020, I bought myself a sketchbook and some coloring pens, like colored pencils. And I started drawing again, and it was really fun. But it was one of those things where it's like, okay, I got this out of my system, and then I was like done with it. You know what I mean? Like I did it for like 3 days, and then I was over it. Painting, I'm the same way. Like I'll get in a mood, and I'll want to paint on a canvas, and then I'll paint like 3 or 4 canvases, and then I'll be done. I won't touch my paints again for like a year. So I don't know. It's just my interests are very weird. Like I am very much the person who will go in like cycles with things. Like I do it with my music too, where it's like I'll be in a mood for certain songs and I'll listen to those songs only on repeat for like 3 or 4 months, and then I'll be over it and I'll switch it up to something else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with my interests. Like they change a lot. And I think that's why I like playing with my hair so much, because like I'll get into it and I'll be into it for a long time. And then one day I'll get a wild hair at my ass and I want it to be different. And then I just make it different. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those
Mm-hmm.
things that's easy for me to play with. I like routine, but I also like novelty at the same time, because like after a while the routine starts to lose its dope. Like that's the ADHD part of it, where it's like the routine starts to lose its dopamine factor, and you're like, okay, I have to switch it up. I have to do something else to get my little dopamine shot, and then I'm good. But I
Mm-hmm.
just don't have a ton of stuff that I think has survived the test of time, because it just goes in cycles so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even like my like I used to like graphic design. That was even my major in college before I switched it. But it's like it got to the point where it's like this is before I realized maybe I do have ADHD, or like maybe I am autistic or something like that. But at the time, it's like, well, I like graphic design, but I'm not sure I could do it for the rest of my life. Like, I don't know if it's more of a hobby, and if it's more of like a cyclical hobby, like you said, like where I'll want to do it and then I'll never want to look at Photoshop ever again, and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Like
Until
my
one day
in
you
like
do out of nowhere, and it makes no sense to you why you do. You just pick it up again.
well, it's kind of like nighttime Amanda is a lot more ambitious than
Yes.
daytime Amanda, where I'll think I'm like when I'll lay in bed, like before I go to sleep, it's like, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna start doing this. Like this sounds really fun. I'll do some like internet surfing, whatever. It's like, oh, jewelry making? I can make jewelry. And then by the next morning, it's like, what am I talking about? I've never made jewelry in my life. And then and so and it's also like I'm one of those people, it's like if I get into a hobby or like some sort of artsy thing, if I'm not immediately good at it, I get mad. It's
Yes.
like, what do you mean I'm not immediately good at this? Like,
Yes.
what
This
do you
is
mean
it was so easy in my brain. This looks so
yeah,
seems so simple and so easy in my brain, and it's not. So I quit. Yes.
I watched a YouTube video. I should be an expert at this.
Yeah.
So like I completely get like people who are artists and like, sell their crafts or whatever for money. It's like good for you. And it's
Yeah.
like and it's worth what they're asking. Like I'm never gonna be like, oh, don't pay artists, like make it for free, that sort of thing. But it's like I get upset when a new hobby or something that I'm interested in at the time I'm not perfect at immediately. It
Yes.
so like drawing, like I'm bad at drawing. Like
Yeah.
paint, I think I'm better at painting only slightly, but I have taken drawing classes in college, and I'm just not good. I'm just not good at it. And so,
Yeah, I'm,
and
I'm no Picasso, and I'm no whoever draws really good person, but just I feel like okay. I'm not, but I enjoy it. Like it brings me joy to do it, but not all the time. Like
Mhm,
I wish I could like harness that, and I don't know. It's annoying. Is it not annoying to you that like
mhm,
you're so into something, especially when it costs money? Because like
mhm,
I'll buy all this shit. Like painting supplies are not cheap. Canvases are not cheap. Like you buy a lot of shit just to do one painting, and you spend quite a lot of money to paint it. And then you'll leave those paints and brushes there and never ever touch them again for like an entire year, because
mhm,
all you had in you was to do, all you wanted to do was really paint one thing. But in my brain, I'm like, I'm going to paint every night now. It's my new thing.
mhm.
And then it's not. And then I've spent $200 on shit, and it's sat there for a year because I'm never going to use it.
kind of like me, like I have a bunch of coloring books that I bought. It's like because when coloring was really like a few years ago when everyone was
Yes.
getting into coloring books, like I bought not a lot of coloring books, probably like 3 or 4 different ones, like over the course of a few months, but it's like probably mainly colored one page in each of those coloring books.
Yeah, because
So,
it like scratches a little itch, and then you're like, okay, I'm done. Like that's all I needed.
mhm.
I just needed to color a page, like just a page, and now I'm fine. You
I just
never
need
know.
a little taste of that.
But you never
So,
know though. It's like, is this going to be something that I rabbit hole down and never
mhm,
fucking escape from for the next 20 years of my life? Or is this going to be something I
mhm,
do once and be completely satisfied with the one time doing it and then never, ever, ever pick it up again? It's so
mhm.
annoying because you just never fucking know. What is your brain going to choose this time? It's like a constant battle of like, I really want to love this. And your brain's like, yeah, I did too, but we're not now. It's over. It's over.
That
It's
time has
over.
passed.
This has my interest in this has gone away. I got the little bit of dopamine I wanted out of it, and now we are done. It's like,
We
but
have
please
squeezed
no.
every
I
drop.
said we are done. Like, but I spent so much money on it. I don't care. We are done. Throw it away. We are
You
done.
will find no joy here.
I will allow you no joy. Not one more ounce of dopamine shall be wrung from this task you are trying to do right now. We are done, ma'am. We are done. Put it away.
Thank
No more.
thank you and goodbye.
Yeah, thank you. Next. That's basically our brain is that entire Ariana Grande song. Thank you, next. It's like you
Yep.
got the little bit you wanted, and it's like, okay, I'm done. Bye. Thank you,
Mhm.
next. Next, please. You're like, bitch, I just spent $400,000 on this fucking hobby, and now I have all this shit, and I'm never gonna touch it again. What do you mean, thank you, next? God damn it. Like, we
Mhm.
have things here to use. I spent so much money. Nope, nope, we're done. Go find
Mhm.
some other expensive hobby to be interested in at 3 a.m. and buy all the things for. And then we're going to do this again till you die. It's just,
Circle of life.
it's the circle of life until you die.
Mhm.
This is your life until you pass away. Probably with hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of unused craft supplies and, nothing else to leave your family because it's all
Mhm.
been spent on day 1 or 2 hobbies that you thought were going to be your next $1 million entrepreneurship project.
Right.
So,
So, like when it comes to like interests over evolving over time, that sort of thing, what's one that's been kind of a constant for you, but that you have to be in the right mood to do? Like for me, it's like I like video games, but I'll go months without playing a video game because it's like I just don't feel like it. I don't get the same joy. Like it'll take me a lot just to even like turn on like the PS4 or boot up like a game on my PC. Like I have to be sometimes it's just I'm not sure if it's like depression or something, like not finding joy in something that I normally should enjoy, but sometimes it's like I have to like force myself to do something or I have to like but then sometimes I'll be 100-hour game in like a couple weeks or
mhm.
just like a few weeks, like a game that takes 100 hours to beat. And but then sometimes it's like there's this game that takes 8 hours, might take me 9 months. We'll
Yeah.
never know.
I feel like I'm like that with like the makeup stuff. Because the interest in
Hmm.
in the makeup has never really died, right? Like
Hmm.
I'm always curious. Like I still have several people I follow on YouTube that are makeup artists and I love to watch the videos, but it's like I have to be in a mood to turn a whole look out. You know what I mean? Like I have to really be in the mood because it takes me so much focus and I'm such a perfectionist that like if I'm not in the zone doing a full glam, right? Like the full thing, that it just doesn't turn out how I want and then I get mad and I take it all off my face and I'm done. And then I
Hmm.
won't touch it again for like months and months. But like when I get my hair done, I try to do some sort of makeup look to go with the hair, right? Even that has kind of diminished. I have to be in the right fucking headspace to want to really spend a lot of time on my makeup, which is actually kind of frustrating to me because I get a lot of joy out of it when I can do it, but it's not something I have the energy to do all the time.
And then you said this one was like when we talked earlier, you said this one was kind of like a hard question to think about, like hobbies or interests that people are surprised that you have, or any that people think you're into, but aren't, based on like what they perceive about you as a person.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that's such a hard question to ask or to answer because I don't know. Maybe something silly of that answer would be like back to the entertainment thing. Like I'm shocked. I've had a couple people say they were shocked to know that I like the Real Housewives just because of how like no drama I like to be in my life. But probably apart from that, even sillier and even funnier show that I like to watch that we religiously watch is Swamp People. It's just really funny and I like it. And like we look forward, Jordan and I both watch it. We look forward to watching Swamp People. It's just I don't know. It's just one of those things like wholesome and Moonshiners. We watch Swamp
Mm-hmm.
People and Moonshiners. It's two of our favorite things to watch together. And then I guess something that people think I'm into, but I'm not. Well, with all this witchy shit, they probably think I'm into fucking satanic worship or some shit at this point because of how like far I've gone down the witchy rabbit hole, but I'm not. Like they probably
Mm-hmm.
think I'm doing some crazy ass black magic bullshit or something, but I'm
Pagan
not.
shit.
I'm not. There is no blood
Fucking pagan.
sacrifices happening in my house.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hexing happening in my house. No dark magic, no bullshit. Just I'm just liking learning about something different other than the shit I've heard my whole life. So
Mm-hmm. Right.
that's it. I just I don't know why that question seems so hard to answer right now. Because I'm sure tomorrow I'll think of a fucking brilliant thing I could have said for that question, because that's also how my brain works. Like, damn
Mm-hmm.
it, that's what I should have fucking said.
Mm-hmm.
Like you do when you have an argument with somebody where it's like, fuck, that would have been a way better comeback. But I'm already done fucking talking to them and arguing with them.
That's me like in the shower, like shower arguments.
Yes.
It's like if I would have said to this in this argument 3 years ago, I would have annihilated them.
Yes. Oh my God. I do that too, where it's like I rehash arguments in my head in the shower. And I'm like, damn it. If I'd have just said that, that have fucking ended the argument, they'd have been knocked on their fucking ass and then it never fucked with me ever again. That would have been the best thing to have said. And it's like something that happened like fucking 10 years ago. It's like that bitch probably don't fucking remember what the hell happened 10 years ago. And here you are sitting here thinking about all the shit you could have said that would have been way better than what you did fucking say.
Mm-hmm.
These brains are weird.
Mm-hmm.
Why do this to us?
Why are brains mean?
I know we say that all the time to each other. It's like my brain's being mean today.
Mm-hmm. My brain doesn't like me today.
No,
Sorry.
it's
For
this shit is hard, man.
it is. Life is hard, but wear a helmet.
Especially fucking us. We need them. We need them extra super protective ones.
Mm-hmm.
Them ones that the what do they call hard hats? We need a hard hat, but one that goes all the way like all the way around your face with like the softball thing that goes in the front to where if you get hit in the face with the ball, it doesn't actually like break your
So
nose.
like a football helmet.
Yeah. Like a football helmet. That's what we need. I don't
Mm-hmm.
sports, so I don't I wouldn't know what the fuck they wear. But yeah, this is just our brains, y'all. This is just how this works. Do you have any other thoughts? Because I feel the brain cells leaking out of my ears now.
Well, let me just real quick answer the reason why I put that last question,
Yeah.
because one thing I think that people think I'm into, but I'm not, is like anime and manga. And it's been multiple people that think that. Even when I worked at Barnes and Noble years ago, I had a coworker like had this inside joke with me where he, for the longest time, thought I was really into manga. And so anytime we had like a cart full of manga to shelve, he'd be like, "Here, Amanda, I saved this just for you because I know how much you love it." And I remember the first time I told him that, I was like, "I don't read manga. Like I've read one manga, and that was when I was probably in junior high." And I said, "I read one manga," and he's like, "Oh, I thought you were really into it."
What?
I'm like,
What?
I mean, it's fine, but I'm not. Like even just like I said last week when I was at this game night at my friend's house, like I had another friend that was like, "Wait, I thought you were really into anime." I'm like, "I've seen like I enjoy like there's like 3 anime shows that I really enjoy." but
Yeah.
I don't watch it. Like my brother's the one that's really into anime, and it's like you, the guy who is like a manager of like an ER nurse, like manager of your own like department, was in the Navy for 8 years as a medic. You're into anime? Okay, odd. And then so so that's like a thing for me. It's like I guess it's like I like Studio Ghibli movies. Um, that's about it. Like the animation studio. And
I don't know why
but
that just made
yeah,
me
just not
like,
one of those things I'm
Animaniacs. I don't know why it just made me think of
hmm
that song. Those brains. Are mean. You kept saying Anna, and I'm like, Anna totally insanely. Stuck in my head now, damn it.
You're welcome.
You're so mean.
Um, I try. But and I guess one that people are surprised I have, I don't know, like I think when I was younger, people were especially guys, I think back then like now it's still like it's becoming more mainstream for like women to be into video games, but like
Yeah.
back then like it's like considered like women don't play video games. They may play Candy Crush and Tetris
Mhm.
and like stuff like that and Animal Crossing, but the real video games are left to the men. But I remember back in like high school, I don't remember what grade, but back in high school, I remember these I won't name them, but I remember these two guys that were like really disparaging to me because they found out like they didn't believe me that I played like World of Warcraft.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so I remember telling them, I'm like, no, I have like
Do
these
you even wow, bro?
yeah, do you even WoW, bro? Like, leave it to the women, okay? Jeez. But like they didn't believe me. Like I had like high level characters, whatever the highest level at the time was, and I was like, yeah, I have like these high level characters, and they're like, no, you don't. I'm like, yeah, I do. And so
Why?
they
Because
didn't
I
like
have a
believe me because I
vagina?
was
You sexist pig?
yeah. And also because I was like really shy, awkward, like nerdy person, which now, like shy, awkward, nerdy person, well, of course that person plays video games. Like back then, it's like, well, only guys play video games. Right now, I'm not sure if anyone would be surprised. Like maybe hiking because I don't look like I hike. But which I don't think I look like I hike either because it's like you think if how much I like hiking, I'd look better than I do. But you know, that is what it is, what it is. But yeah, I'm not really sure what other like what people are surprised because it's like I kind of like stay within the same circles of people like all pretty much all my friends are other nerds, so it's like they know who I am as a person. So like different variation of nerd, the hierarchy of nerds, and I feel like I'm a middle nerd.
Oh,
Um,
I'm a low of the totem pole nerd, I think. Like I'm at the base. Like not as like the foundation of nerds, but like or better yet, I'm that really shitty like cheerleader that just wants to be like at the top of the pyramid, but she just fucking can't, and so she keeps falling down.
mhm,
And so everyone just looks at her like,
mhm,
just fucking put the mascot costume on, because that's all you're good at this point. Just here. Like they all feel bad for me because they know I try really hard and I really want to be one, but it's like I just don't
I
quite
feel
fit
like
into any of
Jordan.
the nerd boxes, you know.
Well, I feel
But I
like
married
Jordan has
one.
got probably helped you get into yeah,
Oh
like
yeah,
Doctor Who.
for sure, for
Like I
sure.
don't watch Doctor Who. Like
Yeah, like
so
I have
that's my
fandoms, I guess. Maybe that's something that people think that people don't really understand. Because I really do like have fandoms like that. Like I am very into Doctor Who. I've watched almost all of them, not the recent ones, but just because of like time constraints, like I really don't have like I like to binge things. So like if I can't watch it from start to finish in like a dedicated amount of time, I just don't start it at all. And so I have a lot of things like I want to catch up on Lord of the Rings. I want to catch like the newest one that they just put out, that series.
oh
I
Rings of
want
Power.
to finish The Witcher, the second season. I'm into oh, what the fuck is that other one? Why is it leaving my brain? They're leaking out of my ears. Help. What
Star
was the other
Wars
one you said? Huh?
Andor,
Yeah,
Star
yes,
Wars,
yes,
like
Star Wars, Star Wars. People don't know that like I'm a mega Star Wars geek. Like I love Star Wars. So I love
mhm.
that shit. So I don't know, maybe I guess I am more nerdy geeky than I thought. Um I'm quite into that stuff, I guess. And I used to play Magic the Gathering when I was a kid, if that counts for anything.
Mhm.
I did.
Mhm.
I was okay at it. Got my ass kicked by my cousin all the time. but I was okay at it. Just because it was he was always the person that set everything up. So of course he'd make it so he would win. And then oh, I guess I used to do, I don't know that you would necessarily call it LARPing, but like when we were kids, my cousin would make, when Gundam Wing was a big deal. Do you remember that show? Gundam Wing. So he would make these Gundams and he was really artistic. Like he could actually draw all this shit out. And there's this big, if y'all don't know what that is, it's a big ass like mechanical like robot thing, right? And it would fly up in outer space and they fucking fight with each other. And so we would go outside and he would make us all a Gundam and we would have to follow what our character sheet said and like use weapons and like follow the character sheet and just kind of do like we would just kind of live action play out as our Gundams and like play out the TV shows.
So it's like Dungeons and Dragons with giant robots.
Yes, with giant robots, except for like we would play outside. Like we wouldn't sit around a table and talk. Like we would like run
I mean, that
around.
was my cousins. That was my cousins playing Power Rangers. I was always the Yellow Ranger because I didn't want to be characterized like, well, you're a girl, you have to be the Pink Ranger. No, I'm going to be the Yellow Ranger. She's still a girl, but she's not as girly because she's
I
yellow.
was always the Pink Ranger. I thought she was cool as fuck. That's just me. That's because I always wanted to be a popular girl and I never was. That was fantasy for me. I was a big ass fucking nerd that got picked on all the time. So I wanted to be the pretty pink, tumbling, kick ass Power Ranger. But I think we're going to start derailing here. So I am going to call it if you don't have any last thoughts.
Nope, I think we're all good.
Okay, well, thank you for listening to this very first episode of Neurodivergent Convergence. It was fun and very ADHD because we were all over the goddamn place, which is going to happen a lot. But I don't know, these are going to be fun. I'm excited to do more of these. I'm excited to get into some more topics that can take us on these deeper conversations as well as these funny conversations. I'm sorry. I just saw something say anonymous koala. What is happening? What do? Who koala?
What are you talking about?
On the Google Doc. I have it open and I saw it's a little thing, like your little icon up here turned into a koala, and I can see a little green thing moving around. Are you moving the cursor around?
I mean, I was going to type something in the Google Doc, but I don't know what anonymous koala has to do with anything.
Your cursor when you go to type something on the Google Doc says anonymous koala. Oh my God. Okay, that was a hardcore derail. I'm leaving that in. We have a Google Doc that we've shared for this show, and we type in our little like ideas for the show, and I don't know, don't ask why, but her icon is a koala, and when she goes to type something next to the cursor in green it says anonymous koala.
And I want to point out I don't see that, so I'm not sure what kind of drug she's on.
Here, what does it say? Does it say anything when I try to type? Look, what does it say?
Says Niki.
It just says Niki?
In pink, it just says Niki.
Oh my God, that's funny. Because there's a koala. There's like, it says anonymous koala. Like if I look at this icon up here, it says anonymous koala. How funny is that? That's some funny shit. Okay, anyway, we gotta go. This has been an insane amount of things, but thank you all for listening. They will maybe not be any more concise than you just heard in the future.
No, just get used to it. Sorry, we're not changing.
This is just us. Get used to it. Like it or die, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. Have you heard that new Cardi B thing on TikTok? It's like, I'm gonna be me till I die. You don't like it, then die first, bitch. It's like, oh my God, this fucking bitch is savage. Then she goes, it plays. But it's funny. Okay, we gotta go. All right, I love everybody. Bye. Thank you for listening. See you next time.